Timothy Bradley versus Manny Pacquiao. I'll tell you what, man. Timothy Bradley winning a close decision, close controversial split decision over Manny Pacquiao. This whole dilemma, controversy, aftermath, it reminds me of something that happened in 2004. It's like deja vu all over again. That's what this fight is to me. Manny Pacquiao versus Timothy Bradley is like a deja vu experience. This has happened before. We've seen it already. Close controversial scorecards. HBO biased towards the cash cow. Bob Arum calls for an investigation after the fight. Come on, boxing fans. Have we seen this before? Have we seen these circumstances unravel before? I think we have. Media outrage. I think this reminds me of De La Hoya versus Mosley, the rematch. This is what it reminds me of. Why does it remind me of that? Because it's like the exact same thing happened. It was a very close fight. Punches were missed. The majority of punches were missed. And the landed punches were very quick. Not a lot of people saw them. And when one opponent landed punches, there was clear bias because the commentators didn't say anything. Now, in terms of my comparison here, to me it's a straight deja vu. And if you don't believe history repeats itself, you don't know history, because you really see, looking at De La Hoya's career, he beat Vargas, and then he went into and then he beat Yuri Boy Campos, which was a complete mismatch. And then he faced Mosley, who he lost to. And this was Mosley, who did take steroids before the fight, who was on the cream and the clear. And it was a very close, controversial win for Mosley. After that, there was a media outrage. Bob Arum calls for an investigation, and then he goes on vacation in, I believe it was 2004. And what happens is he gets raided by the FBI while Arum was on vacation. Then it was reported by media that the FBI was investigating allegations that Top Rank was involved in fixing the rematch between De La Hoya and Shane Mosley. Even though De La Hoya lost and Arum was De La Hoya's promoter, the federal agency also looked into some other fights that may or may not have been fixed. Now, considering what happened following De La Hoya's career, he then moved up in weight to face Felix Sturm. And oddly enough, that was a dubious decision in favor of De La Hoya. After that, he then got knocked out by Bernard Hopkins. And then Arum claimed that De La Hoya took a fall in that fight, and De La Hoya left Arum thereafter in 2004. Now, to me, the kicker is, if you really look back into the De La Hoya versus Mosley 2 fight, it has a lot of similarities with how Timothy Bradley and Manny Pacquiao went down. For example, I'm just going to read off an article about Mosley's defeat against Oscar De La Hoya, and it's off of about.com by Andrew Eisel. Now, so yeah, I'm just reading off. There was no disputing that Mosley deserved a win in the first fight. However, the decision rendered this time around, it generated a good deal of controversy. In fact, De La Hoya and his promoter Bob Arum have threatened to launch a full investigation into the scoring, whatever that means. Both have also threatened to leave the sport. Also, HBO's coverage of the bout demonstrated incredible bias towards De La Hoya, the network's pay-per-view, the network's biggest pay-per-view attraction. HBO's Jim Lampley, George Foreman, and Larry Merchant would have you believe that the Golden Boy was robbed. He wasn't. The decision could have gone either way. It just didn't go the way De La Hoya and Arum and HBO would have liked it to. Now, in this case, a lot of people think Arum is acting in terms of his opinion towards Manny Pacquiao versus Timothy Bradley. I'm still not sure if this is an Academy Award performance or if he's really genuinely angry about what happened with the Manny Pacquiao decision. Man, Arum's such a two-faced liar. It's hard to tell, but it just everything about that fight reminds me of this fight. You know, it just has. It's like all the same things that happened with De La Hoya Mosley happened here with Manny Pacquiao and Timothy Bradley. Now, in terms of what's next for Pacquiao, the way I see it, Manny Pacquiao might do one of two things. He might fight Timothy Bradley in a rematch, where he might get a dubious decision, or he might fight a guy like Paulie Malignaggi, or just like a real easy fight for a comeback. To be honest, I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I see, in terms of prediction, just like De La Hoya, I see Pacquiao leaving Bob Arum pretty soon. I would say within his next 2 to 3 fights, he's going to leave Bob Arum, and he's going to go independent. And once he does that, then he'll truly have a real chance to fight Floyd Mayweather. And the sooner he leaves Bob Arum, the sooner that's going to get done. That's what I see, because that's what happened to De La Hoya. He fought Sturm, he lost to Bernard Hopkins, he took another loss, and then he went over to Golden Boy. He started his own promotional outfit, and now that formed into the giant we know today as Golden Boy Promotions. It would be good if Pacquiao does the same, and that's what boxing's about, man. It's about moving on, because shit happens and you gotta deal with it. and Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya, moved on to bigger and better things, and he had the world's richest fight against Floyd Money Mayweather. So let's hope Pacquiao can follow De La Hoya's footsteps, because that's what he needs to do. Alright, take care, guys.